In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can use the Financial UA program to prepare yourself to get a spiritual job. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome. My name is Jay from Baltimore, Maryland, and I want to welcome you to the Financial UA General Service Office. So come on in and grab a seat, and let's get this meeting started. In Financial UA, our very first tool of recovery is a job. A job is a tool for earning, and it allows us to generate income and prosperity. At the same time, because we're approaching this topic of a job within a spiritual context, within a 12-step context, we're looking at a job as being a spiritual experience, not just a work experience. When we look at a job as being a spiritual experience, what we're talking about is that every time you go to your job or engage your job or provide service at your job or even receive income from your job, that can be appreciated from a spiritual perspective. Every time you go to your job, it's an opportunity for you to develop yourself, refine your character, work on your work ethic, and develop your maturity. When you receive income and earnings from your job, that's an opportunity to develop your spiritual skills of managing your income, appreciating and being grateful for the income that you have, and then looking at ways that you can develop your income into prosperity, to take the earnings that you have and to double or triple them by learning how to save and invest them in a spiritual way so that your prosperity can continue to grow. There are some basic things that will help you to prepare yourself for when you're ready to get a job. Understandably, a lot of people who come to Financial UA are challenged around work. Sometimes they are unemployable. Sometimes they are really deeply afraid of entering the workforce. Sometimes they're uncomfortable with the idea of having to compromise themselves or give themselves away in some level, or to let other people into their space. So needless to say, a lot of people who come to Financial UA bring with them a lot of sensitivities, sometimes fears or insecurities about entering the workforce or returning to the workforce or engaging with the workforce at a higher level. Some people are just unemployed. In Financial UA, we can prepare you and train you to get a job if you're unemployed. If you're underemployed, the Financial UA approach can help to prepare you to take on more responsibility and to learn how to step up your earning game so that you can get full-time employment or develop multiple gigs or multiple jobs to round out your ability to earn over the course of any given day. If you are already employed, but you find yourself financially under-earning, meaning that you're not earning enough at the job that you do have, our prosperity approach in Financial UA can help you to take the job that you have and engage it in a way to increase your prosperity and your income. The very first strategy I want to present to you for helping you to prepare yourself to get a job is to become a trusted servant. What that means is, when we become a trusted servant, meaning to hold a service position within a meeting or a workshop or really any opportunity within the recovery context to give service, whether that's making coffee, setting up the chairs, being the moderator, being the timekeeper. Any position of service is an opportunity to be a trusted servant to the group and to the fellowship. This will work especially well for people who are unemployed, underemployed, or perhaps just very uninspired at the job that they do have. They don't feel the passion to earn, to engage the work, to deliver and offer service, and they need a way to feel renewed, to feel excited about going to work, to look at going to work as being a spiritual experience, almost as if going to the job feels like and looks like going to a meeting. This example works really well for people who are already familiar with going to recovery programs. Going to each meeting feels like a spiritual experience sometimes. We prepare ourselves, we don't know what's going to happen, but we look forward to showing up and seeing how the higher power is going to present itself or manifest itself within that group conscience. And so every meeting is interesting and unique, and every meeting offers opportunities to challenge us to think, to develop, to grow, to develop insight and spiritual awareness. In the same way, a job can offer the very same things if we're able to look at a job as being a spiritual tool, or to be open to a job as being a spiritual experience that we go to and we participate in one day at a time. The very first strategy that will be really helpful with engaging a job in the same way we engage a recovery program or a meeting, or even an opportunity to chat with our sponsor, is we're going to look at how to become a trusted servant. When we talk about being a trusted servant, it's about having a mindset of being willing to show up, to connect, to participate, to look for an opportunity to fulfill the unmet need, and to be present to feel the flow of earning power and higher power as it manifests itself within the group conscience and as it flows through you, so that you, when you do your job, when you do the work, when you act as a trusted servant, you become a channel for your higher power to bring energy and wonderful experiences to other people. So as a trusted servant within a 12-step program, let's say as a timekeeper, a person shows up to the meeting and they're ready to engage and be present in the meeting, and they're ready to do a service to help the entire meeting flow along smoothly. And as they show up, they are prepared to engage their higher power at a deeper level as it is revealed to them while they're doing this very simple job, this very simple service of keeping time. I can't tell you how many times that people have shared with me in recovery that everything changed for them when they became a trusted servant. A lot of times they talk about how they felt like an outsider in the meetings, in a fellowship. They always felt like they were on the outside looking in, and they never felt like they really had a personal interest, and it made it hard for them to really connect with the group, to connect with the fellowship, even to connect with that higher power. But either when their sponsor suggested that they do so, or organically they were led to become a trusted servant, everything changed. Once they became a trusted servant, they felt like they were a part of. They felt like they moved from the outside to the inside. They felt like they were connected to other people. They felt a sense of purpose. They felt a connection with higher power. They felt a sense of ownership, like what they had to offer mattered, and their ability to offer it to the group mattered. And that helped them feel like they mattered. So becoming a trusted servant, finding some kind of way to take personal ownership within a group, a meeting, a workshop, or a whole fellowship, but finding some way to take personal ownership of that, to find something in yourself, some job, some task, a talent or a skill that you can offer to help the spiritual collective become better. That is incredibly satisfying, and it changes everything in recovery. It takes your recovery to the next level. In the same way, and I'm sure that you can probably relate to this idea about being a trusted servant, if you can take that same mindset that you feel in recovery, to feel like you have something to offer, that you're bringing your higher power to the group, and that you're connecting with the higher power of the group, and that there's this spiritual communication, this spiritual connection back and forth. If you can take some of those pieces with you to a job, then you can recreate the same dynamics, the same give and take, the same level of connection, but within a vocational setting, a work setting. And what happens at that time is that the job becomes a spiritual experience. Just like being a trusted servant in a meeting is a spiritual experience. Going to work each day becomes a spiritual experience. So the best strategy to begin preparing yourself to take on a job out in the big scary world where people transact money and they have expectations and there's an understanding that everybody needs to be able to get along in order to accomplish the purpose to move the company along. The way to integrate into that as a spiritual person is to first practice all of those skills in a safe recovery setting until you feel comfortable, until it feels natural, until you feel confident, knowing that you have something to offer. And then take that ability of yours as a trusted servant and translate that into the work world. But before you get to that big job, just begin practicing this as a trusted servant in a meeting or a workshop or a group or a fellowship. And as you practice that, there's going to come a point where your higher power and your earning power will notice that you have prepared yourself, that you are building this momentum, this prosperity momentum, this earning momentum, this service momentum. And your higher power will begin to match you in just the right way to a earning job that can best receive you and what you have to offer. So again, the number one best way to begin preparing yourself to take on a position in the big world by taking on a real job, an earning job where you get income and can develop your prosperity, the best way to prepare yourself for that, if you are a spiritual recovering person, is to become a trusted servant. And again, to practice all of those skills, to discover things about yourself, to have opportunities to look at yourself in the mirror and to do a little bit of work on yourself within the safe recovery setting. And of course, to talk about these things with your sponsor, your action partner, your PRG team, or your action team, or your prosperity team, or even just to talk about what you're learning and experiencing within the meeting itself. Asking your higher power to guide you and direct you along the way. In that way, you're taking your connection with higher power that you build and develop as a trusted servant, and you convert it into a relationship with your earning power as you take that higher power and bring it into the work world. Now it's time for our seventh tradition. Every financial UA meeting ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. There are no dues or fees for financial UA membership. All of our meetings and workshops are completely free to attend, both over the phone and face-to-face. Please do keep in mind that we do have expenses, such as covering the cost of our website, developing new literature, and maintaining our service office. If you would like to make a 7th Tradition donation, you can click the PayPal link below, or visit our website at financialua.org and click the Donate button. You may also support this program by purchasing a copy of our Financial UA 12-Step Workbook or our Financial UA 12 Traditions Workbook. You can also help us carry the message by subscribing to our channel and even by sharing this video with your sponsor or your sponsee. Lastly, please consider clicking that like button, a big thumbs up for service. Now's the time for sharing. Who'd like to take a share? In the comments section below, please consider leaving your experience, strength, and hope around being a trusted servant and some of the things that you did personally to prepare yourself to be a trusted servant or to prepare yourself to take on a real job in the work world. So go ahead and leave your comment below, preferably a positive, non-offensive comment, and with your share, you can teach other people with your experience, and other people can teach you with their experience. So it's an opportunity to take a share and to receive shares of other people. And while you're there, please do consider hitting the like button and giving us a big thumbs up for service. As we move towards closure, please visit us at www.financialua.org or email us at financialua@gmail.com. Now, let's close with our prosperity prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, the wisdom to know the difference, and the prosperity to afford it. Awesome! Hey, thanks so much for joining us and helping us to create and hold this space for healing and recovery. Please help us carry the message by subscribing to our channel and maybe even sharing this video with others. But most importantly, keep coming back. Hey, thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.